Welcome to another in the series, the Sip and Chat. Welcome to another in the series, Sip and Chat. Well, believe it or not, it is New Year's Eve. Just a few days ago, we're saying it's Christmas Eve, or it was New Year's, but now we're into the crossover. Few hours before we embark on another year. What lies ahead? Nobody knows. But, well, we don't know, but there's somebody who knows, right? So I just want to really say thank you to all of our viewers who have joined us. We have been on air now almost close to 4 years, an initiative which began in the pandemic. And here we are giving hope and life and direction to so many people. And as we close off this year, it's no different. We have with us this afternoon my decorated friend. You'll see why I say that. Justice Annmarie. And she is with us this afternoon. And we're just going to talk a little bit, chit chat, as we always do here on Sip and Chat, on just some of the things that as we cross over, so many people call it the crossover night, so to speak.
True.
And there are so many
Yes.
customs all over the year. Welcome to the set, Justice. How are you tonight?
Thank you, Dr. Leleith. I am fine, thank you.
Well, we have a lot to be thankful for. First of all, I want to be grateful for our friendship, which has really blossomed. I've learned a lot from you. And, I say when I grow older, I want to be able to manage as efficiently as you have, because you do so much. You do so much. You really do. And I want to commend you. I mean, you can just share with our viewers shortly, but just from what I know that you're a mom of, is it 5?
I'm a mother of 5 children, 2 girls and 3 boys.
Right? And Leopold, which I know the name, is the one who is in flying school, correct?
Yes, he is.
Right. And you are a lawyer based in St. Anne
And Portmore.
and Portmore. I was just gonna say based in St. Anne, but really live in Portmore.
Well, I actually live both places.
Right, Justice. So it's really good to have you. And and you have touched so many lives in terms of, although you are a full-time attorney, you're also, as we said, a mom, but you're so heavy, a businesswoman as well, and a mediator, but you're so actively involved in civil service. And that is something that I think it's so important to talk about a little, because so many times we find ourselves saying, oh, we're so busy that we can't give back in terms of service. But this year, you are also re-elected as president for the St. and
The Kiwanis Club of the Garden Parish, which is in Utrecht Center.
right. And so again, congratulations. So
Thank
that's why I
you.
said that she is so decorated, because if all of her roles should be reflected in a badge, it would be so much. But tell us some of the high points of your year, especially the Kiwanian.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me again on Sip and Chat. I really appreciate it. And I do appreciate our friendship. I've grown as a result of knowing you as well. In terms of Kiwanis, as you have stated, this is my second year as president of the Kiwanis Club of the Garden Parish. And I was awarded president of the year for the
Congrats.
term that ended in 2023. Our Kiwanis term starts on October 1 of each year and ends the following year, September. We have done a number of projects, and in fact, our club partnered with my foundation, the Bishop Law Foundation, and we did a essay competition on constitutional reform, which is very important right now in Jamaica.
Yes, it's really, really.
So we had 5 schools who participated, and the students won a number of major prizes. Apart from trophies, the top 3 students won Upper MacBook Pro, which was donated by Dr. Dice and his wife. They're based in the US. We also did a number of projects. We launched our signature project, which was recycling. We have done care packages, and we continue through the Bishop Law Foundation to do a back to school package for the grade 1, 7, and grade 4 to 6 every July. And we went to Myersville in St. Elizabeth with that project. We recently partnered with the church to do a Christmas treat, which was about 2 weeks ago. So it's important to be involved in your community, Dr. Leleith. And as you know, you have been a part of a number of online programs that we have done with Dr. Emil and Bishop Webster and others, Dr. Riley as well. So in giving back to the community, we empower others, and it's part of our purpose. So hopefully in this discussion, as we discuss the 2024 and charting the way forward, we would look at our purpose as Christians and as individuals,
Right.
and see how we can impact positively the lives of others.
Thank you so very much. Wow, I feel like I was in school being given a nice lesson, but very, 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 very important, you know. I think as we make the transition from 2023 to 2024, there are some things that we really must focus on, and some legacies I would want to say that we need to take over.
Yes.
And one of those things that we need to take over is the spirit of altruism, just giving back to people. A lot of times we sit back and we say, nobody has done anything for me. But I think the bigger question is, what have you done for someone? And a lot of times we think that to be able to be impactful, you have to have a lot of money and you have to be in certain places. But in your small way, I saw this initiative with another boy in his community who, during the COVID period as well, who started a very important project where he would go around and he found out who wasn't good at whatever subject. And if he was good in that subject, he got help for them. That didn't require any money at all, you know. He was just giving back of himself. So as we cross over into 2024, there are some things that we want to talk about, like things that we think you definitely want to cross over with. And we're going to talk a little bit about those. One of the first things I think you must cross over with is the spirit of hope.
Definitely.
I think hope, that, you know, there's some little words that are so powerful, like love and hope and peace and joy.
Yes.
That little 4-letter word, hope. If you are going into a new year hopeless, you're twice defeated
in the race of life.
twice
Definitely.
defeated. But if you can get over with some amount of mindset that says, listen, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna do well, I'm gonna succeed, I'm gonna cause somebody's life to be different, you'll find out how the arena of life just begins to lit up.
That is so true. That is so true. Hope is very important, and it's very important not to focus on the past and the errors and the failures that you may have experienced.
I want to stop you there so a while ago, because a lot of people said do not focus on the past. But what we don't want to focus on is the negatives of the past.
The negatives of the past I speak of. So you evaluate 2023, and in your evaluation, you do a self-assessment of, you know, what went wrong, and take from that evaluation the positives, and decide what is it you want to change in going forward of yourself and how you want to give back to others. And as you stated, you don't have to be wealthy and have a lot of money to do that. You can give back by way of knowledge. You can share, you can start a program in your community where you help 2 or 3 or 4 students with their homework.
Right.
It can be as simple as that, but for them it's significant, and it can have an impact. You can help that child to get a better grade in going forward when the June CXC exams come around, because you have that knowledge that you can share. So you don't have to have cash to care. You can care.
You can have love to care.
Love to care and your knowledge to care as well.
Exactly. I mean, Justice, I think that's so important, because in Jamaica, we tend to have a mindset that, boy, you know, not going to feel because you don't have money and you don't have this, but you have a heart. And I think sometimes all we need to do is we need to start. So that's one of the things I want to say to our viewers. As you cross over from tonight into tomorrow morning, go, if you have say you have a life box or a life bag, stuff some hope in it. Stuff some hope into that bag. We have to have hope, right? Yes. The other thing that we want to have in our hearts is, I would say, we want to have a sense of well-being. And that well-being that says to us, I have a right to be here.
So
the
true.
Desiderata, right?
Yes.
I have a right to be here. I think that when your worth is not known, your purpose cannot come alive.
And it's important to know what you are worth. And in knowing what you're worth, you need to believe in yourself, Dr. Leleith. A lot of times, persons are not the best of themselves because they doubt themselves. They do not know their self worth. They absorb the negative feedback from family and friends. And, I'm just saying to our viewers that you need to reject that. You need to believe in yourself. And in believing yourself, you then decide that, okay, I'm able to do what I set my goals are. Whatever your goals are, and you set your mind to that, work towards it. Because it's not just about believing in yourself, it's also about the action that comes with it. But it starts with believing in yourself.
Very, very important. And I always say to people that when it comes to self-worth, right, that is not defined by people. People can punctuate it. But you, because even if I tell you that you're worthy, or tell you that you're a woman of substance and all those kinds of positive accolades, and if you don't believe it yourself, it's like throwing water on duck's back.
Yes.
It won't, you don't absorb it. You just say, oh no, not me. But when you're at a place where you can receive that kind of feedback that says, listen, I'm a woman of purpose. I'm one of the proverbial woman that is written about. And I know that I'm not here by chance, but I'm here to make an impact. I think that's very important. And I say to people all the time, if you are at a table where your worth is not known or not valued, you need to leave that table.
That is so true. And
You
in
need
leaving
to leave that table.
the same principle can be applied if you're in a group and the majority of the group members are idlers. You need to delete your number and exit that group.
Exactly. So as we close off 2023, some people need to go into their phone and look and say, Timothy, what did he add to my life?
Right.
Nothing. Misery. Come on. Delete that person. Beatrice, what did she add to my life? Oh Lord, contention and so on. Delete that person.
And the reality is that our mental wellness is very important, and it helps us to realize our purpose. So it's important to surround yourself with friends who are positive and can bring positive influence to your space.
Exactly. It is so important, Justice, because what we find is that a lot of times, right, you're coming up in terms of your own self-emotion, and all you needed was just a little additional fuel to just bring you to that place of saying, yes, I can do it, I can do it. And then before you know it, you get a call from one of your naysayers who says, no, son, I bother with it. And then there goes a great opportunity.
Yes.
So we're saying to people out there that as you go into the new year, you want to have hope, you want to have self-worth, you want to know that, listen, I'm going to go after my goal because this is what I want and I believe I can do it. It is Philippians 4 verse 13 that says, I can
do
all things
through Christ.
So you don't have to think that you have to be able to do them by yourself.
In fact, we can't do it by ourselves.
Because we cannot do it by ourselves. And it is He that giveth wisdom. And we should ask, and He can give it unto us liberally.
Yes,
right?
definitely.
So I can do all things through Christ
who strengthens
me. So it means that even as you pursue your goals, you're going to have those lulls. You're going to have those moments when you feel like, wow, I can't make it. I can't do it by myself. Maybe this wasn't it. But when you when you tap into that inner strength that comes through relationship with Him, you pull from that reservoir. And you're almost like you're propelled up,
Definitely.
I always make reference to this. My son used to watch Power Rangers, right? And there'll be some times when the Rangers are defeated and crushed, right? And when there comes a time when the enemy attacks them and they'll come together and say it's morphing time. And you see those little things just start morph and come back up, and they become stronger, especially when all of the Rangers join together. So that is why we're talking about the power of coming together with positive people who says, yes, man, we're going out there, we're going to attack life. Whatever it is, we're going to attack it together, and we're going to attack it with a mindset.
And in that regard, you need persons in your corner who are prayer warriors, who will pray with you and pray you up and pray up your strength, because you will come under various attacks. You will find that persons are negative towards the goals that you have set, and they will discourage you. But as we have said, you have to believe in yourself and know your worth and protect your mental wellness. That's so important. So you need to pray. And when you pray, you also need to listen to the responses that God is giving to you as to what your purpose is.
So important. And this year, I learned this last year, and I'm holding true to it this year. It says, if you pray, don't fret. And if you fret, don't pray.
Pray. That's a good one.
Yes, I went somewhere, I learned it, and I said, I'm going to use it as one of my little things going forward. If you pray,
Don't fret. And if you fret, don't
don't
pray.
Because again, that's hope and confidence in a source that is bigger and mightier than yourself.
That is true.
So you need to know that you can come and you can cast your cares right here and he will take care of it. Another thing that we want to take over into the new year is positive confession. You can be your worst enemy by talking down to yourself. So while we talk about people saying negative to us, sometimes we, even when others are saying it to us, we are countering it within ourselves.
Yes.
So as we go into the new year, we want to be our first cheerleader. We want to tell ourselves, listen, I'm a champion.
Yes.
You know, there's this song by Syria that people say, oh, you know those song, but yes, I heard this song once and I listened to it. It's called Unstoppable. I'm a Porsche without no brakes. Or she sings that song, and I'm telling you, when you listen to the words of that song, in other words, what she was saying is that she's saying, listen, nothing can stop me. Because I'm going for my goals and I'm going to get them and I'm going and I'm going and I'm going. And sometimes that's what we need to say.
And that requires a lot of determination and self-discipline. And you really need to be focused.
Right.
In order to achieve those objectives that you have set for yourself.
Right. So one of the things so we talk about hope, we talk about self-worth, we talk about self-identity, knowing who you are and applauding yourself at times.
Yes.
And in this year, we're going to talk a lot about that as well because we have to help people to come into their fullness, right?
That is true.
But you touched on something, Lloyd, that I wanted to get into, and that is the whole matter of procrastination.
Procrastination really is a challenge for most of us. We need to know what our distractors are. Procrastination will cause us to delay our purposes.
Right.
And our goals and objectives. So it's important to be able to identify what your triggers are, what causes you to procrastinate, what causes you to be distracted, and you make a deliberate effort to avoid those distractors. It's very important.
A lot of times we say, to do it tomorrow or to do it later. And we do that and do that until that objective or that goal becomes so delayed until it just never occurs.
And right, and also, Doc, you put yourself under undue stress.
Exactly.
You know,
that is a topic by itself.
It is.
We're going to delve into that into the new year as well, because what we have to understand is that life is like, I call it an ecosystem where you procrastinate, you become stressful, then ill health comes in, and it becomes hopeless, you become hopeless. So it's like a circle going around.
You become irritable and you snap at your children or your husband or your wife. And even the puppy, yes.
Everything, and the wall, because now it's like everything has become a barrier or is in your way. But ladies and gentlemen, as you're watching us tonight on this crossover, some of you are probably getting ready to go to church. And probably some of you getting ready to go to the waterfront.
Yes.
And I'm not sure, everybody have different plans, right?
Yes.
But what we're saying is that there are some things that you need to take over hope, take over joy, take the Spirit of the Lord with you, because He will lead you through whatever valley, because He is indeed the good shepherd.
He is.
Right? And the thing about the good shepherd, He doesn't leave any sheep that is gone astray.
True.
Right?
That's so true.
So even if you feel like you went off course in 2023 and you're not worthy to make a comeback from your setback, that is here.
That's true.
That is here. Jesus is here to help to restore you. He is a father that is always saying to his children, you can't be too far gone for me not to pull you back, as long as you make room for him.
And you're not alone. And that's the power of prayer and the help of prayer warriors in your space. The reality is that prayer will help you to navigate the hills and valleys of life. Whatever happened in 2023, you now have a new opportunity in 2024 to reconnect and realign your relationship with God through prayer and fasting. And of course, you need to listen. You need to have a discussion with God and ask God to show you his purposes for your life. It could be multiple purposes. Dr. Leleith purpose is not necessarily Annmarie purpose. So that's a conversation through prayer that you have with God, and he will direct your path.
I think that's so powerful, lawyer, because a lot of people sometimes feel like they pray, but the thing is that they pray, but they don't stop to listen, and so they feel that God has not answered them.
We need to listen.
And it was Cindy Trim. I'm a fan of Cindy Trim and her prayers and everything, and she said that God is not a mute God; He's a talking God. And even as we're discussing, there are things that we're going to look at into the new year in terms of how does God talk back? Because sometimes it's not that he's going to come down and you're going to see this image and an angel or so on. I mean, that could also happen.
Yes.
That could also happen. Are we going to see a burning bush or whatever? I don't know how he want to talk, right? But the truth is that he talks through us. You're watching this program now and he's talking through us because he's saying to somebody out there who says, boy, not one thing that they had on their vision board, not one thing that they had on their goal plan for 2023 came through. And so they're at the brink right now of feeling that, boy, life is not worth it. But I say to you today that you are here for a reason.
Definitely. And the book of Psalms, I believe it's Psalms 57, it speaks about God numbering our days, but he has his purposes for us. And until his purposes are fulfilled in us, he will not take us home.
Right.
I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
But that is it. It's important to know what your purpose is. And that will give meaning to your journey as well.
Right. And as we mentioned, what you take into 2024, the opposite is what we don't want to take. So one of the things that we don't want to take into 2024 is ungratefulness.
Agreed. That's true.
I was giving a presentation the other day, and I said that, this girl, I think her name is Coffee, and she sang a song that says gratitude is a must.
Yes.
But the psalmist already told us that, the Bible already tells us that in everything,
yes, be grateful.
We must give thanks, because this is the will of God, that we be thankful.
Yes.
And I think that when we are grateful, when we pause long enough to look at what we have,
yes,
we recognize that, whoa, I'm really, really blessed. People spend so much time trying to line up with the Joneses, the proverbial Joneses, and see what they don't have,
as opposed to appreciate what they do have.
Exactly my point. So to our viewers out there, you might have wanted to get a new couch for the holiday, a new carpet, but the fact that you're hearing us means you have TV, you have your site,
life.
Yes. And you have life. So what about just pausing even right now at this time and just saying, Lord, thank you? Because there are many people, I mean, I know I have friends right as we speak who their brother is in the hospital, or their sister, or someone for them. My good friend Samantha Horton lost her daughter earlier, just a few weeks ago.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? And so much things has happened. So when you are there concerned now, wow, I missed this show, I never get to whatever show came out this year or whatever it was, and so on, just pause to say, God, thank you.
For life. For his many blessings.
My son gave me a Christmas card, and I read the card. I read the card as he gave it to me, a Christmas card. And, he thanked me for many things. But when at the end, he wrote, Mom, I'm so grateful that you are here.
Amen. Powerful.
I was really stunned. He said, Mom, thank you for this. Thank you for the gifts. And, because he turned 16 this year. So we had a little thing for him, and he said, thank you for that. I know you really tried your best and so on. But then he said, Mom, thank you for being here with me. And somebody right now, as we speak here on Sip and Chat, we want to say thank you for being here with us. But it would be so nice if you turn to a family member, even at this time, and say thank you for being here.
Thank you, Dr. Leleith, for being my friend
Thank you too.
through
Yes.
2023.
And to our worthy producer, Mr. Knight. We give him so much trouble, to Miss Caroline and to all the persons, Mr. Hanson and Mrs. Hanson. We say thank you.
Yes.
He gave me a chance with this program, not even knowing what I was going to come with, you know what I'm saying? But he believed in the dream and he gave me an opportunity. And that was just it. So I'm thankful for that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thankful for, as you said, for the friendship that we have, because there are days when we call and we encourage each other and stuff like that. So I want us today to pause and to say thank you. There is a quote that says, "You create the good thing in your life that you want to live by."
Interesting quote.
You create it, right? So sometimes things will happen, but we must know what we're going to hold on to. The purpose of life is to discover your gift. The work of life is to use that gift. And the blessings of life is how you give back that gift.
Wow.
So in this season, as we're crossing over, there are two bags that we want to cross over, that we want to face as we cross over. There is a dumping bag that we want to dump some things in that we don't want to go forward with. And there is a bag that we want to put some things in. So we don't want to go over with procrastination, malice, strife, envy, bitterness, hopelessness.
Yes.
But we want to take up this bag of hope, of courage, of determination, resilience, coming back from the setbacks of the current 2023 and go forth in the strength and the power and the authority of Jesus Christ. Your final words, Doc.
I would add to that bag, the takeover bag into 2024 vision. Where there is no vision, the people perish. But also, a man without vision is like a tree without roots. You need to know who you are and whose you are. We're children of the Most High God. And God is able to take us through all our hills and valleys. And He's able to keep us because that's His perfect gift for us.
Wow. I'm so blessed here today talking to my friend who has been such a source of strength to me in 2023. And I close with this. I remember when Jesus with his disciples on the boat and he said, let's go over to the other side. On the other side was a side of uncertainty. But when they got there was a storm. But they had the right man on board. Make sure as you cross over into 2024 that you're going over with the right person. Someone will be with you through thick and thin.
Amen.
Until next time, let us continue to sip and chat. And all the best for 2024. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.